What's up? Hello. Okay, in this video this one is from Gina Harrison. Try this one, thumbs up. Okay, Gina. Gina's coming through with the videos lately. Let's see if this is good.
To end fat phobia, we need to dismantle Western civilization, says Philly therapist.
Oh yeah, I saw this. It's like the Pakistani lady or something. Or Indian or something. Oh, Rashatwar is Indian, right? Yeah, 26 minutes. Alright, fine, whatever. Alan Roberts, Every Damn Day Fitness. This guy loves the easy targets, huh? Okay, so if you guys have any other YouTubers or videos that you want me to take a look at. Sorry, I'm so out of it right now. This should be fun.
There's Sonalee Rashatwar.
Oh yeah, leave me a comment. That's what I meant to say.
F your logic standards.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you. Especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. And you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you bleed. I don't trust words. I trust actions. I don't care what you heard. I'm not slacking. My name's Alan Roberts. This is Every Day Fitness. Like, subscribe to the Facebook right over here. Share my videos. Subscribe to my second channel, Alan Roberts. In my opinion, of course, below the end of the face. Thank you very much. So, Sonalee Rashatwar, she goes by the Fat Six Therapist on Instagram, and I get tagged in just about every tag or sent just about everything this woman says. I believe she's a lady that not too long ago equated like the children shouldn't be forced to work out because they're not at the age of consent. Like that's so illogically disqualifyingly stupid. That's like saying like a child shouldn't have to mow the lawn because it involves physical activity. Can't stand up to do the dishes because physical activity. You know, that's just really, really unintelligent. It's foolish talk. It really is. So when people disqualify themselves that way, I tend not to just ignore them. You know, I will say this. This one caught my attention. It's like, well, she's talking about that Western civilization should be dismantled so fat people can feel better about themselves or eliminate fat phobia. And this statement in general is illogical, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. But my wife and I sat down. If you want to follow my wife's page, at Damn Serenity on Instagram, there'll be a link to the description box below. But we sat down and read the article together and just talked through it. And we're going to discuss the points that my wife and I talked about with this because I found this just be. Like, I'm always amazed at people that get voices. So, like, they get put in the news and stuff like that. It's kind of amazing where we're at in society when people take shit like this seriously. So let's get into the article. Sonalee Rashatwar hadn't planned on being a therapist growing up. Her career path, she explained while sitting in the waiting room of the Radical Therapy Center, the practice she co-owns in Western Philadelphia, just kind of happened. Rashatwar, now 31, endured an abusive relationship in her early 20s. After college, she started volunteering for domestic violence response team, an experience that showed her she enjoyed working with others who had lived through traumas. My deepest sympathies to Ms. Rashatwar and to anybody going through that's watching this, that's in a domestic violence situation, that's in a dangerous situation, either physically or mentally. There are going to be links in the description box below that can help you check those out, get help, seek help as quickly as possible. If you know of anybody that's in a dangerous relationship, have them.
I wonder, so like this is one of those things, I mean, I don't even need to watch this video, I already know what he's going to say, but this is one of those things, and it's like, you know, it's almost like, I don't want to say does this even need to be said, because I guess it does need to be said, just so like somebody says something in response to this like obviously like fucking entitled and like insane person who, like, I mean, it would only be allowed to say something like this in the United States and be taken seriously and, like, actually, like, you know, only in the United States would this have, like, some sort of positive effect on her life by actually saying this. Like, we need to dismantle the government. Oh, my God. You know, it's ridiculous. Everybody knows it's ridiculous. Hopefully nobody, and that's the thing, is, like, nobody takes this person seriously anyway. I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about this lady. Nobody takes them seriously anyway, except other insane people. But because it's like a catchy like BuzzFeed headline, she's going to get exposure, and that the like effect of the exposure in and of itself will somehow, I guess, scare people into thinking that it's more credible. So they will make a response like this. I think, I don't, like I said, haven't seen this, but I can, you know, I based on what I know about this guy, like I'm pretty sure that's where this is going. And my next thought was like, should I just go after the easy targets also, right? I don't like, so when I make these videos, I don't put any like effort, like maybe 1 in 50, I'll like choose a video that somebody didn't recommend for me. But I'm thinking, like, should I just go after these people who are easy targets anyway and make a video and be like, Tess Holliday says being fat is good, but actually being fat is not good, and here's why, you know? Or like, I don't know, fucking whatever, shit like this. Like, it's obviously, like, insane. I don't know, whatever.
them, get those links below if possible. Do whatever you can. So my deepest condolences to Ms. Rashatwar, and to anybody in that situation, please do get help. The article goes on, quote, all of my work is to better understand what I've experienced, end quote, said Rashatwar. You graduated from Temple University in 2011. Quote, it's almost like I'm healing younger versions of myself by trying to find language to describe what happened, end quote. I am going to point out that she just admitted to approaching everything from her own viewpoint, her own personal bias. That is disqualifying to me. That professionally, I cannot see that as a counselor being in any way good. She approaches she's looking at it as healing herself. That is not how counseling, coaching, things like that work. That would be like me and my wife coaching every person that comes to us to lose weight in the same manner that I lost weight, and that cannot be done. Some people have a lot more weight to lose, just like I'm sure some people have a lot more trauma than her. Some people have less trauma, some people have less weight for me to lose. Some people have other issues that I didn't have, or less issues than I have, physically, emotionally, mentally. You cannot approach a situation where you're trying to help a person from the stance of, this is what works for me every time. That is not in any way good for anybody. To me, her admitting that she approaches things in that way shows serious bias towards everything. That is breaching logical thought and critical thinking. That is, when you approach things from an already decided angle, then the rest of the thought process is very skewed. Especially when it's not factual information, when it's not statistical information. Statistical information is just statistics. When you approach it from an emotional bias, it disqualifies you from rational thought. The article goes on, as the fat positivity movement has gained momentum, so too have debates around how fat folks should lead healthy lives. Rashatwar, though, considers how sizeism is affected by racism, misogyny, classism, homophobia, transphobia, and ableism, and she counsels people against intentional weight loss. That is unbelievable to me. She is not qualified. She is not a medical doctor. That is unbelievably negligent to me. I would argue that if somebody was told by their medical professional, by their doctor, to lose weight or they're going to develop diabetes, and she is telling people on an open forum to never intentionally lose weight, and she tells one of her clients not to intentionally lose weight, and they develop type 2 diabetes, that is her fault. That she could be held liable for that, in my opinion, of course. That is dangerous talk. If your medical doctor tells you to lose weight, get a second opinion. If two doctors tell you to lose weight. I mean, in reality, I understand that people want to feel good about themselves, but you start telling people to not intentionally lose weight, to put that out there on such an open forum, okay, if you...
So, like, this is why I don't go after easy targets, right? I just kind of realized that as I was watching this next, like, segment, which is that this Rashatwar, Sonalee Rashatwar, does not deserve to be acknowledged, is kind of the problem. Like, she's saying stuff that's, like, so insane. And, like, okay, fine, you could be like, well, this is America, you're allowed to say whatever you want, or blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody should have a voice. That's true. But it's also my choice as to whether or not I want to acknowledge this person's opinion, or even existence. They do not deserve my acknowledgement, or anybody's acknowledgement, right? You have the right to express yourself, but you do not have the right to oblige, like, you don't have the right to acknowledgement, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If nobody wants to fucking pay attention to you, nobody has to pay attention to you. If I don't want to fucking answer her, like, insane fucking proclamation, I don't have to. And that's, like, it's kind of what he's doing here. He's like, this is basically like when you talk to a crazy person and you try and have a sane conversation with them, right? It's like, why even pay attention to them at all? They're insane. Like, why give them the courtesy of, like, treating them like a normal human being? They don't deserve it. Sounds harsh, but that's true. And that's again, that's why I said, like, I don't want to go after easy targets, because they don't deserve my attention, honestly. And I know, like, fine, that's like, when you make videos, I don't want to call it virtue signal. It kind of is virtue signaling a little bit. And it's pretty common, I guess, with, like, some of the bigger, or I guess medium-sized YouTube fitness people that I've seen. Like, Obese to Beast does it, this guy does it, Greg Doucette does it also. Just going after all this, like, it's really just going after, like, the health at every size nonsense is all really what I can think of it as. But it's like, I mean, why engage these people at all to begin with? Like, why? Like, let's just let them, like, sit in their corner and, like, have their say, and just be like, okay. I don't know. That's what I think.
You have a person that's of a healthy weight and telling them not to intentionally lose weight, that I understand. But to just put that out there, especially speaking as an obese person with a person whose majority audience is obese people, to tell them not to lose weight is negligent. You are going to hurt people when you do that. There's no logic behind this. I understand people want to feel good about themselves, but this is a medical thing. This is like the term obese, even though we're trying to asterisk out the word and make it a swear word, the term obese is a medical term for people that have too much adipose tissue. It is a medical terminology. When you say morbidly obese, it is a state of life that they are endangering their life due to their weight. To tell people not to intentionally lose weight is simply negligent. She pointed to the work of artist activist Ashley Shackelford, who has written that wearing clothes from the boys' section growing up, when many items for girls didn't fit, altered how Shackelford experienced gender. Rashatwar, who noted that people may perceive feminine bodies as more masculine if they're fat, feels similarly about her upbringing. Being big and being the eldest child, she said, made her feel less like a girl growing up. How you look is an aesthetic thing. I talk about it all the time. It should not in any way affect your thought process on wanting to be healthy. It just shouldn't. I understand that there's tons of people that want to be huge bodybuilders, but be real, that's not necessarily healthy. It's not healthy to be 300 pounds shredded to the bone on stage. There are many people that think Tess Holly is a gorgeous woman. Let's be real, it's not healthy to be 400 pounds as a model. In reality, what you look like is just an aesthetic thing. And people are going to judge that no matter what, especially for women. People are going to judge it no matter what. The same person says something very, very rude to an obese person about their weight with the intention of hurting their feelings is going to say rude, mean shit no matter what the person looks like. That's just what they do. They take enjoyment from it. In some way, it makes them feel better about themselves. Does it make it right? Absolutely not. But it is just the nature of things. If a person is 400 pounds and somebody calls them a whale or something ridiculously ignorant, and that person loses 100 or 250 pounds, becomes 150 pounds, they're going to find, the rude person is going to find something else to say. What you do is not even give that person power over you and don't acknowledge it. You get healthy for you and not give a fuck about what the mean person says, because frankly, when you give that much power to somebody else, you are stealing yourself away. This woman's entire body of work seems to be based around how people look, not actually how healthy they are. That's my issue right now. In reading this article, in no way does this woman bring up anything like, I understand people need to be mentally healthy. I really do. You know what make you feel mentally healthy? Not worrying about having your feet cut off from diabetes. I mean, not worried about getting all the diseases and stuff like that. That's the issue. Because nowhere in the back of an obese person's mind are they not worried about getting sick, because they don't feel good. That's just the truth, people. Like stuff like this, the pandering that this woman is putting towards an audience of people that just want to feel better about themselves, based off of her own personal biases, is a dangerous narrative. It's a dangerous narrative without logic. It's literally F your logic standards, because this has none. The article then goes on to say her perspective. When a fat, South Asian, non-binary person, or as I would call a person, has gained enhanced notoriety through Instagram, where she often posts telegram-like advice to the account at the fat sex therapist. Last July, she celebrated 4,000 followers. Today, her follower count approaches 20 times that. Now, as a person that prides himself on their individuality.
Yeah, like, and I guess like I don't know. I mean, I just maybe am I overestimating like your average person's like intelligence, that like this is all obvious, that like being fat is not healthy. And if you take advice from some like fat, she like, I don't know. She's like, honestly, like it honestly seems to me that this is like a satire account. And she basically was like, okay, let's see. I'll say I'm like, she's like picking everything. Or she's like, okay, I'm going to tell everyone I mean, she's, you know, Indian or something, Pakistani. I don't really know. She's like, okay, I'm going to be Indian, or I'm going to be a minority. You know, I'm racially oppressed. I'm, you know, everyone's homophobic because I'm also gay. I'm fat and people hate me because of that. And I'm a woman. So like, that's also not fair. She's like, she picked everything, you know, and that's like her, you know, it's just able to tap into a lot of like demographics, I guess. So I'm wondering, like, are there actually, like, do people take all of this at face value, and they just are so easily impressionable that they don't know enough about the world that they like think this is an attractive like ideology or something? I don't know. And if they do, I don't care that like all these people are choosing to not be healthy. Like, go ahead, fucking all right, like go for it. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't bother me when people make dumb choices like this. Like, I just think it's stupid, and they get what they deserve, honestly. Especially if they go the extra step of like loudly proclaiming like that, you know, it's not their fault, and like it's everybody else's fault, and like we need to change the system because I'm fat.
I mean, I pride myself on being a unique individual. I really, really do. I wonder why there's so many labels, because I'm still just a person. Like, I find it very, very illogical, so F your logic standards, I find it very illogical to place so many different types of labels upon yourself when you are preaching a message of inclusivity. When you are trying to represent a group that you feel is marginalized in some way, then to keep putting different labels upon yourself to further, you know, identify yourself as an individual. It's just a very, very confused message. I really believe that this woman, in my opinion, of course, has found her niche. They talk about how her Instagram following has grown immensely. It makes me wonder, is she more concerned with growing her following versus actually helping people like a therapist should? Because when you take the key phrases that she's using just to make sure that she can identify with all different types of audiences, instead of just trying to get all the audiences to be just one audience, and it be very inclusive of people, that makes me wonder what her motives are in general. She posts advice in colorful blocks of text. Your body is an heirloom. Do you consume porn with bodies like yours? And that explains those concepts in the captions. Rashatwar traces contemporary fat phobia to colonial brutality and how enslaved people were treated. Citing research advocate Caleb Luna, Rashatwar said curing anti-fatness would mean dismantling society's foundation. I love to talk about undoing Western civilization because it's just so romantic to me. Holy shit, that's a lot to unpack in just a little bit. First of all, if you don't consume porn with people of your body type, there's nothing wrong with you. It's fantasy for a fucking reason. And to compare what fat people go through to what slaves went through is just inflammatory rhetoric at best. I mean, that is the most positive thing that can be said about that statement. It can be seen as massively insulting to people that are actually enslaved around the world, because that shit still happens. To compare the life of somebody in America that is morbidly obese, who has had enough access to enough food and enough, you know, sedentary lifestyle, enough access to being able to be sedentary enough to eat enough food and get morbidly obese, unless there's some sort of underlying medical issue, comparing that to slaves is disgusting to me at best. But I will say this: if you don't want to feel like you are enslaved and you're morbidly obese, lose weight, because the thing that's enslaving you is the weight. I find it so hard to take anything this woman says as serious, because like the whole dismantling Western civilization is romantic to me. It's ignorant. It totally is, because if Western civilization were to somehow fall,
people would not be as overweight and obese because people would be working a hell of a lot harder. Western civilization is why people have gotten so obese and overweight. The convenience of it, the ability to be sedentary in nature instead of having to work for your food, the ability to pull up through a drive-thru, expend 1 calorie pressing on a gas pedal, and consume 1,500 calories in drink and food. Like, the convenience of Western civilization is one of the reasons why people are so overweight. So I find it amazing that she in some way thinks that obese people would somehow enjoy the fall of Western civilization. Because trust me on this, if anarchy would reign, obese people would have a very hard time. If grocery stores shut down, if prices of food skyrocketed, which is what would happen in Western civilization, obese people would have a very hard time. And that to me, again, there's absolutely no logic behind that statement. That statement, honestly, that statement was said for the reason I think she got the reaction she got out of it, because there's an article made about that statement. And I believe that she does almost everything for that shit. I believe that she sees that the more inflammatory shit she says, the more popular she's getting, therefore the more money she's making. I don't believe there's actually an investment in actually helping people, because not only does she say conflictory things from one sentence to another thing, she says stuff, I think, just to say shit. The article goes on the effects of fat trauma. Happy so we have another new phrase, fat trauma. What some folks think is trauma is like the event itself that happened. Like the car accident that I got into is the trauma. But that's the event. What trauma is what gets stuck in my body. And the way that I react when I'm in the car in the future, and it stops really quickly. That's the trauma response. Quote. And so when we internalize fat phobia, and we really personally personalize a fat traumatic experience, it can impact our sexuality by making it uncomfortable to receive a hug because we feel like the person hugging me probably is so repulsed by touching my body, let's just get the hug over with quickly, end quote. I'm again going to point out how everything this one says seems to either be for inflammatory purposes or based off her own personal biases. Who says that the person feels that way because they're fat? Maybe there's some sort of other trauma that actually caused them to gain the weight that is the reason why they don't want to be hugged. Like, the assumptions are just ridiculous. Maybe they feel that the person won't like hugging them because the fat sex therapist presented it as there might be an issue.
I mean, you know, the more of these videos that I watch, the more that I realize that there's really there's only really two types of people in the world. And there's much more of one group than there is of the other, unfortunately, right? You have the type of people who believe that nothing is their fault, right? And that it's society, and it's this race, and it's fucking this country, and it's these people, and it's this thing. And then there's other people who believe that everything is their fault, or at least that they have a choice, I guess is what I should really say. You have people who believe they have a choice and that they have control over their lives, and then you have other people that don't believe that. And the more that I see this, and this is what I talk about when I say who's going to make it and who's not going to make it, because the people who believe that they don't have any control and they don't have any choice, those people are not going to make it. And if somehow they do make it, it's sheer coincidence and just a complete accident that they did. But even then, it's not. I question if that's even possible, because in order to make a voluntary change in your life for the better, ideally. You have to believe that the change is possible, and you also have to believe the change is possible, and you have to believe that you control whether or not you change or really improve. And some people just don't seem to believe that, right? And I know this woman, is she really saying all this stuff just to get followers on Instagram? Probably, but I don't think she just thought of it one day and was like, oh, I think I'll post this on Instagram. I think she actually believes it, which is why she posts it. So, again, that's why I said, if these people, they want to choose to believe that being fat's not their fault, or being out of shape's not their fault, or they're being broke, or whatever their fucking problem of the day is not their fault. It's somebody else's fault. It's the government. It's fucking black people, white people, whatever. You want to blame somebody else for that. And regardless of whether or not it's true, maybe it's possible your parents only bought unhealthy food when you were a kid and there was no fucking vegetables in the house and you got fat because of your parents. Maybe. It's possible. But guess what? Now you have a choice. You're going to still blame them for that? Today you have a choice. Right now you have a choice. Right now you're choosing to watch my video and listen to me talk about this. You can choose to do anything. You can close the computer right now. You can turn off this video. You can go outside and go for a walk. You can go to the gym. You can go fucking jump off the roof if you want. Okay, you have a choice to do a million different things at any time you want, at any point in your life, any second of the day. You can choose to do whatever you want. All that shit that you know you should do, that you've been thinking about doing for years. You can choose to do it right now. Right now. You can choose. You can close the window. You can go start right now if you want. But you're not going to, probably. Because you're enjoying listening to me talk, number one. But also, you don't want to do it, really. Okay.
With people hugging them because they're overweight. This woman could actually be harming people by her fucking statements, just trying to get popular, in my opinion, of course. I'm always lost at how shit like this gets said on an open forum. It is so important to remember when you're on social media, you're talking to the dumbest person that's going to listen. I mean, I say that all the time. You're talking to the dumbest motherfucker in the audience. But in reality, I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that people might take the words you say and misconstrue them to a great degree. And when you are presenting yourself as a therapist, and then you say people don't, people are upset because of hugging you because you're overweight, that plants in overweight people's heads that people don't want to hug them. That in itself is negligent. The article goes on, how self-worth can influence sexual interaction. Quote, when we teach someone to experience shame based on your body, whether it's about race, body size, disability, and we internalize that shame, we internalize the sense of our body having less self-worth than other bodies. Just a few things. One of the things that drives me fucking crazy is when people equate body size, like being overweight or obese, to having a disability, to the struggles that people go through when they have a disability. Although you can be, most people that are obese are developing disabilities because they're lack of mobility and all that, we'll get that in just a second. But race is something, race, disability, burn victims, stuff like that, the people that body positivity was actually meant for, they can't change that shit. And nor should they, I mean, they should be proud of who they are. If you're an amputee, you went through some struggle, you should be proud that you made it through, cancer survivor, burn victim, shit. To equate something negative, like where the person, like the race you're born, there's nothing negative about it, it's just the genetics you were born with. That's just fucking how it is, and there's nothing to be ashamed for her to even connotate it to the negativity that can be seen with being obese, because obese is actually an unhealthy state. There's nothing unhealthy about your race. There is unhealthy connotations with being obese. To equate the two is really, really ignorant. That's ignorance on a whole other level. Being overweight and obese is unhealthy for you. It is an unhealthy state that you can change about yourself. To equate it to the struggles that other people go through, like earlier, she equated it to slaves and being enslaved. That shit's said for inflammatory purposes to try to win sympathy for an argument. Nothing more. The reality is, if you are overweight or obese, you should love yourself enough to get healthy. Who gives a fuck about what you look like? Get healthy. If you are a 400-pound person, look in the mirror, say I love you, and find a way to get counseling enough that you can fight whatever food addiction you have or whatever you need. Do whatever you need to do to get to a healthy weight so you can live longer. That is acceptance and loving yourself. Because in order to be accepted, in order for there to be acceptance, you need to accept yourself first. Ignoring unhealthy things you're doing to your body is not accepting yourself. That is not. That is self-harm. That is not accepting yourself. But yet to equate it to things that like acting like you can't change it after your logic standards. Later on in the article, she says, when body image abuse comes from a significant other, quote, if we haven't received comprehensive sex education, we don't know what our sexual rights are and what our rights to pleasure are, the kind of treatment we deserve, and oftentimes we tolerate body image abuse from partners. I work with clients who are recovering from experience with sexual assault, and a partner will say, like, I get you're depressed, but like, it's been a week since you've been in the gym, and if your body changes because of this, I'm not in this, I'm no longer going to be attracted to you, I'm going to dump you, I'm going to leave this relationship. It's pressure to maintain a body size in order to maintain a relationship. No, it is an abusive relationship. If somebody says to you, look into the camera and know this, if somebody says to you, I am not going to love you if you don't look a certain way, that in of itself is not a healthy relationship. Get the fuck out. I'm saying that to you right now because I will tell you this right now. I could go blind and lose all the touch, sensation of my fingers and all that, not even be able to feel my wife's skin, not be able to ever see her again. As long as I can hear her and talk to her, I'm going to love that woman. That is a real relationship. When some
I mean, look, we've all, maybe not all, but many people have been in a relationship before with somebody, and maybe that somebody gets fat, doesn't quite look as good as they did when they were single or when we met them or when we started dating them. And, like, I don't know, you're with somebody for a long time. You're really going to give them an ultimatum like that? Probably not going to happen. You might think to yourself like, he or she is getting kind of fat, not as good looking as she used to be. I kind of want to say something, but I don't want to look like an asshole, and I think that's because, like, in most cases, that's probably what's happening. Like, it's all this, like, I don't want to, like, blame women or anything, but, like, women love twisting shit. They love fucking twisting. Like a guy's like some boyfriend's like, hey, like, maybe we could go to the gym together, right? Like, because she's getting fat or something. Random example. And then, like, she'll go tell her therapist later, like, he body shamed me. He said he wouldn't love me anymore if I didn't go to the gym with him. And he suggested we eat a salad that night. Really hurt my feelings. I want to buy 10 more sessions. It's like, did he really say that? No, he didn't really say that, but that's what he meant when he said that. So, like, again, all this stuff, this is just for emotionally weak people. I mean, look, okay, I can sit here and I can say, I personally prefer a certain body type. I like girls who are fit. I like girls who look like they have, a little bit of muscle. I have my own preferences, right? And if I'm, I don't know if I would ever tell a girl that I'm dating, like, change your body or I won't love you anymore. I wouldn't say it like that. I would probably just, like, avoid the confrontation and just, like, be like, oh, we've changed. I feel like, I don't know, what do people say when they break up with each other? Like, we've grown apart. We're interested in different things now. I've changed. It's not you, it's me. Like, all this shit, right? I wouldn't be like, yeah, I guess technically is that abuse? I don't know. I won't love you anymore unless you look a certain way. I guess stating it directly like that, I don't know, abuse. I don't know. If it's intended to, like, traumatize the other person, Like, you're getting fat, bitch. Fucking better lose some weight or I'm gonna dump your ass. Like, you're disgusting. Okay, fine. That's like, all right. But like, you got to understand that like casually suggesting, hey, maybe we could go to the gym, or like, what? Let's go for a walk, or why don't we, let's do the grocery shopping together. Maybe we'll buy more vegetables. That's not abuse. Okay. Like you have to, the problem is like those lines get blurred. So like, what is it really, I guess is what I'm asking. And the reason I say that is people are so quick to be like, oh, he said something I didn't like, abuse, retarded.
Somebody pressures you to look a certain way, that is not a healthy relationship, and this therapist should advise them to fucking leave. That is ridiculous to me. When somebody says to you, I love you as long as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, when all sorts of ridiculous stipulations, especially when most of them are based around how you look versus your actions, how are they gonna feel 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, when looks are no longer a factor? That relationship is not worth fucking staying in. If a person says to you, listen, you're 60 pounds overweight, and we're worried about you getting diabetes, let's lose weight together, what can I do to help you to get healthy? That is a loving relationship. When a person says, I don't necessarily...
Yeah, so this is the whole like direct versus indirect communication, right? If you say to somebody explicitly, you're like, you're getting fat. I'm not going to love you anymore if you're fat. If you look like that, that's too direct, right? It lacks tact. Okay, but if you say, like for example, if you casually mention like whatever, I'll use guys and like I'm whatever. Let's say my girlfriend is getting fat, for example. And I'll just like casually mention, I'll like open Instagram and I'll be like, damn, look at this girl's muscles. Whoa, she's so fit, right? Wow, oh my God, I wonder how she got her body like that. Is that abuse? No, that's like a subtle hint that like, I like girls who have muscles. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're fat. I'm just saying I like this girl. I think she has muscles, right? That's much more tactful, okay? Which like, you can complain about like playing the game if you want, but that's the more skillful way to communicate, I guess, and more effective also. Hopefully they'll get the hint. If they don't get the hint, you don't have to fucking stay with somebody because they're getting fat. Like fucking do what you want. It's your life. Get rid of them. Dump them if you want. If it's really that important to you. I guess and again, this is like this whole problem of like, you don't like how somebody looks, so let's just talk about how they're unhealthy. Right, because like they're unhealthy. That's like a fact. That's not a quality statement, really. It's like a quality judgment. Like, oh, you're being obese is unhealthy. Like, what you're really thinking is like, it kind of looks gross, right? Let's be honest. Like, obese people just look kind of gross, right? But you're not allowed to say that. You can't say it's like rude or mean because it's too direct, But if you say, oh, obese people, they have a higher risk of heart disease, that's a fact. That's technically more palatable because it's not expressing a personal preference. So it's like, it's easier to deal with, I guess.
So I like how your ass looks, I might have to leave. Show that motherfucker the fucking door, whether it's male, female, whatever. Show them the fucking door. If they say, I don't like how your hair is, or I don't like how this is, I might have to go, they're already out of the fucking relationship anyway, and this fucking therapist should fucking say that. That is an abusive relationship, in my opinion, and I am not a therapist, but I will tell you this, there's no fucking way I put up with that, there's no fucking way my wife would put up with that, and there's no fucking way you should either. Being an Instagram therapist, it's super overwhelming sometimes because so many followers on Instagram, it feels like there's pressure to produce content all the time.
So I just want to clarify one more thing. There's a difference between having a preference, right? And explicitly stating, giving somebody like essentially an ultimatum saying like, if you do not meet my preference, I will leave you. Okay. I still wouldn't say that's abuse, right? I don't know. I don't think that's abuse. It's a dick move. It's a mean thing to say and very insensitive. Is it abuse? No, I don't think it's abuse. Let's say some girl says to me, whatever, she's like, you're looking kind of fat. I don't, I think I'm going to dump you if you are not, if you don't lean out a little bit. That's kind of a fucking fucked up thing to say, and I would question like what I'm doing with her. Is that abuse? No. It's like shows me a lot about who they are as a person. Is it abuse though? No, I don't think so.
Time, and I feel like I need to be putting out something new and super profound. Like no one's ever heard of this concept every day, but I don't do that. That's so overwhelming. A lot of folks will reach out to my DMs and ask really personal questions. Quote, it's also really gratifying. So when I post really, really political and radical content where I'm talking about like being anti-cop, anti-government, anti-military, folks are like, whoa, I've never heard these ideas before, end quote. Unbelievable. We're gonna wrap it up on this. First of all, she just admitted that she says shit just for inflammatory purposes. So can you believe anything that this woman says? If she just totally admitted, in this article, she's admitted that she runs her profession off of her personal bias. And she just said that she posts stuff just for inflammatory purposes. How can anything she say be trusted? After your logic standards, if you think she's a reputable source. Because in reality, she has admitted in the article, in direct quotes, that she is biased and inflammatory. And, I understand, trust me, because I feel like I'm not, sometimes a divisive person too, but It's fact. When I say facts, it doesn't matter if I say it, if a 2-year-old says it, if somebody else says it. When I state facts that can be checked up upon, those are facts. Almost her entire profession is her opinion. There are no facts involved with this shit. So saying it out of bias with the expressly said purpose of being radical or inflammatory, how can you believe anything she fucking says? How can anything this woman says be taken in any way seriously? Because she has admitted that it can't be. And to say that like when you say something that's anti-cop or anti-government or anti-military or whatever, anti-this, anti-that, you say that people are like, whoa, I've never heard that before. Anti-military lady, there have been protests about military interventions throughout history of the United States. Anti-cop, where have you been? Where have you been? I mean, it's amazing. Anti-government, my God, every political season they try to hate each other and people hate the government. It is ridiculous that this woman thinks that people live in such a box that these things are somehow new concepts. It's again, she just says that stuff because she is, doing it for inflammatory purposes. So when the fat therapist herself admits that she's biased.
Yeah, all right. So, like, I guess somebody has to say this stuff because I guess people who are in this, like, fat set, like, okay, when you're, like, because the thing is like, socially, the more like of a minority you are, kind of the more untouchable you are in America, right? So, like, you have a lot of protections, right? If you're gay, what is she, Indian? If you're, like, you have dark skin, right? You're gay, you have dark skin, you're a woman, although women aren't technically a minority, but you know what I mean. What is it? Gay, minority, woman, fat, right? Like, you're all of these, like, oppressed categories. So you're kind of like, who can say anything bad? Like, if you say something bad about her, not only are you racist, you're homophobic, you're fucking sexist, and, like, a million different things, right? So I guess you do need some people to go against that, because if you didn't, then they would just, like, run unchecked, I guess. I don't know. I wonder, like, who even takes these people seriously? Like, she's a joke. And if there were no cops, lady, you would not last very long. Are you kidding me? If there was no, like, law, like, this lady would get fucking, she'd disappear, like, in a second. Are you kidding me? The only reason she's allowed to say stuff like this is because she lives in fucking America. You say this stuff anywhere else, oh my God, could you imagine if she, like, lived in Russia? She'd disappear fucking in the blink of an eye. Okay, yeah, Alan Roberts coming through with the sanity once again. Okay, so if you guys have any other videos or YouTubers you want me to take a look at, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.